Hello everyone, we will continue our case study for the sales order report, and in the previous video, firstly we released the first transport request, and after that yes, we went for a perception that basis person imported the request into the quality system. During the functional testing, two changes came, but we cannot store those changes into the release transport request. So we created the new transport request and we stored those changes into the new transport request. Then we need to release the new transport request also. As of now, I release this transport request also. You need to release the second transport request also. I released already, and there is no way that I can show you the release again of this. So just you need to release this transport request. And once you release this transport request, drop a mail to basis person to import this request to the quality system. Second transport request. Once this request will go to the quality system, yes, functional will do the testing and functional will say, okay, everything is perfectly fine. Now I will come on to the important part, and that is explained in the transport organizer also. Our concept is version management. Version management. Whenever you will release a transport request, whatever the objects are there into that transport request, SAP will make a permanent version of the same. Suppose, as of now, firstly, we release this transport request. So, whatever the objects are there into this transport request, so SAP make a version of the same. Now, after that, what we did? We created a new transport request, and in that new transport request, we did the changes into this include and into the report text. It means for these two objects, SAP will make a new version. SAP will make a new version. Suppose if I will show you, it will give you more clarity. And most important thing, suppose today I develop something and I release that transport request. After 10 years, I can also check, yes, what was the code in the object before 10 years, because SAP make a permanent version of the same in the system. Suppose if I will go to my program, suppose I'm going to my program. For my program, for my sales order report, I just one time release the transport request and in that transport request, this report was there. So for this particular report, only one version is there. If I will go to utilities, I will go to versions and I will go to version management. You can see for the program, we have only one version. If you remember, this was our first transport request which we created. This was our first transport request, 901205. 901205. Now, after that, now suppose I will show you this include program in which we added, in which firstly we have the no extension, then we removed the no extension. When we have the no extension, that version is in this transport request. When we do not have the no extension, that version is in this transport request. Just see now. Whenever I will see the version management of this include program, I will be able to see two versions. Have you seen? We are able to see these two versions. You can easily check a version. If I will display the code of this include program, you can see no extension word was there at in the first version. Now, when I go for second version and I will display, you can see no extension word is not there. So whenever you will release a transport request, so whatever the objects are there in that transport request, SAP will make a permanent version of the same in the system. I can compare these two versions also. Suppose if I will select these two versions and go to compare, it will clearly show. Suppose I will go for parallel, it is clearly saying this is the highlighted line. It means this line and this line are changed in the two version. Yes, this is our latest version, version 2, and this is our first version, first version. So it is very easy to predict what was the code in the version at that point of time. Suppose after that, we change the quantity to order quantity in the report text. So how I can check the version of the same? I will go for go to text element. I change from quantity to order quantity. But if I want to see what was the what was the label in the previous version, so I can simply check. I can go for utilities, version management. Now we have these two transport requests. If I will select this, you can see what was the text at that point of time, quantity. Now, if I will go to second version, you can see what is the label, order quantity. If I will compare, it will clearly show me what is the label changed. You can see order quantity and quantity. So this is the change in the first version and the second version. So in the first version, we have quantity. In the second version, we have order quantity. And version management plays a vital role because since this is a real project example, so many times we have issues came in the object. So every time we will go for changes in the object, we will move the changes to the quality system with the help of transport request. It means you will release the transport request. Whenever you will release, SAP will make a version and we can easily check through the version what was the code at that point of time. So what is the summary of the video? In this video, yes, you need to release the transport request. Firstly, release the second transport request. I released already. There is no way to go back. There's no way to revert and show you the release again, but you can release the second transport request. After that, I explained the concept of version management. What is version management? Whenever you have a object in the transport request and you release a transport request, so whatever the objects are there in the transport request, there will be a permanent version in the system for that particular object. And we can easily check in the future that what was the code in that version at that point of time. After that, whatever the changes you are doing, anyways, you will store the changes in the transport request. Whenever you will release, new version will be. Whenever you will release, new version will be there for that particular object. So you can check the version with the help of utilities, version management. You can display version, you can compare the versions also. In the next video, we will start with change request concept. Means our report will be same to same, and we will go for change request into that particular report. And again, new learnings will be there in the next video. So that's it in this video. Thank you.